So we're here at Side Splitters Comedy Club.
I already know that.
With Ben Gleib.
Oh, you're telling me, okay.
He is a stand-up comedian, a television host, and a presidential candidate now.
That is true.
So why are you running for president?
Well, firstly, because in the 2020 election, on the Democratic side, I feel like it's every American's obligation to run this time. I feel like this time around, it's every American's obligation to run for president, and so I wanted to throw my hat in the ring. But
it is
no,
like American Idol, kind of.
It is. They're gonna whittle it down, and I've already had to sing a few times.
You got the look.
Thank you.
The hair's
Yeah, I've had to shave and cut my hair more than I ever have in my life.
Nice.
Yeah, this look wouldn't do it.
And no, this is I don't know. It looks like I just lost my job at the limo service or something.
It does. You're the beginning of an 80s movie where you lost your job at the limo service and you're like, let's just go to Vegas, man.
Yeah, I'm the
we
best
have
man.
to do that trip.
I'm the best man at the wedding where the girlfriend's like, don't let him be your best man.
Exactly.
But baby, from childhood.
He messes up everything.
Hey, what's up, guys? Oh, is it tucked in? But yeah.
Was I not supposed to be drunk for this?
Well,
but
I am.
The real
Coming
reason,
this summer.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the real reason why I'm running is that I don't have any confidence at all. I'm running for president because I'm not at all confident that any of the 24 candidates other than me that are running have the ability to stop Trump. This orange monster is doing his best to ruin everything that makes America great, ironically, despite his slogan.
Yeah.
And he's eroding our values, and he's awakening racists and white supremacists and misogynists, and he's just outwardly trying to erode belief in our institutions. He's trying to even undo what facts are in an era where the president of the United States calls facts fake news because he doesn't like the facts, and then calls lies that he says truth, and he's flipping what even reality is for us.
Sure.
We don't have any time to waste anymore, and so I don't think a cautious politician can stop this anomaly. I think we need a comedian to do it.
Going from, a reality TV host billionaire to stand-up comedian, that seems almost equally extreme, right?
No.
No?
You're so wrong.
Why not?
Because the problem with Trump is not that he's a reality TV host. The problem with Trump is that he's an asshole.
Okay.
And he's an immoral person that is trying to erase everything that's good about this country. That's not me. So that's where the comparison point is. I don't think our job matters.
He's bad. You're a good person.
Exactly right.
And that's
So
what
yeah,
matters.
his game show was about firing people. Mine is about using your brain better to not be an idiot.
Yeah.
Something Trump could use.
Boom. Yeah, how do you think he would do on your show?
He'd fail.
He'd fail.
Yeah, he would fail.
He's
Yeah.
an idiot. Are you
Donald
calling
Trump,
the president?
your Idiotest starts now.
Oh my gosh. So
I'm calling him an idiot. He's totally an idiot. He's also very smart as far as being a brilliant communicator and communicating his message boiled down in a way to his base that's just this easily repeatable thing. Like, he wants a wall. We all know it because it's like he hypnotizes him when he talks. He's always like, you want a wall, wall. You're getting very sleepy. Look at the tiny spinning hands.
So if he can appeal to people on a basic, broad level, how would you do that to gain his people onto our side?
By just making them laugh, by showing them that somebody who, if they like someone who tells it like it is, like Trump does, you can have that also in a moral person.
Yeah.
You can have that with somebody who isn't a dick that's trying to just enrich himself and his rich buddies while lying to you and pretending to care about you.
Okay.
I call it like it is. I'm a shit talker. I'm about to hit the stage and talk shit for an hour.
Yeah.
But you can tell behind those words is a good person.
Yeah.
And he is the opposite of that.
You said he's doing it just for his own gains. Would you be doing it for the good of the people?
That's the only reason I'm doing it. I love my life and career. I've worked my entire life to get to the place from headlining comedy clubs. I have a TV show on the air, and I'm choosing to pause all of that and risk all of that to try to run for president, to try to offer a different
That's what people
option.
say he did.
No, he was doing it specifically to enhance his brand.
Yeah.
And he won by accident.
Right.
And I already have a life that I love. He's been like flirting with running for office his whole life and loves to be this guy that mixes in politics and started this racist campaign against Obama for years, this birther conspiracy.
That was crazy.
Pushed that forever. And then he becomes the president and expects people to respect him. It's an insane level of hypocrisy.
It's like Pablo Escobar. Because, he wanted in so bad, but they didn't let him. So he just kind of is doing this out of spite.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I can't be the president? Well, now I am.
I'm not super familiar with Pablo Escobar's story. I did not watch Narcos after the first episode. I didn't find the character believable. I look him like him a little bit.
Yeah, did you see young Pablo in the thing?
I did see the first episode, so yeah, I'll take that.
If you had a mustache.
He's a handsome man for a drug lord.
It's tough to be handsome and a drug lord at the same
Yeah, a lot of
time.
people say that.
Because, scars, people are going to try to stab you and stuff.
Well, women like scars.
It's true. It shows you have experience.
Chicks
character.
dig scars. That's the phrase, right?
Chicks dig scars?
I think so. That's from Top Gun, maybe.
Does it work emotionally, too?
Sadly, no.
Do you have any background in politics?
Yeah, a lot.
Really?
Yeah, aside from the fact that I talk about politics in my act sometimes, not too much, but for 7 years, 8 years now, I've had a podcast called Last Week on Earth that talks all about politics, and I try to get people who've never cared about politics to listen to it and care about it by making it very accessible and funny and dirty and weird. And on top of that, I've been for over a decade now a guest correspondent on places like CNN and Fox News and ABC News and NPR. And I covered the Democratic and Republican conventions for NPR in LA. And I also created in November the Telethon for America, this first of its kind event that helped, nonpartisan event, partner with Michelle Obama's When We All Vote organization to get people to come out to the polls. First telethon in history with the goal of raising $0.
Yeah.
And we succeeded.
Nice.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Instead, we encourage people to come out to the polls, make pledges to vote the next day, and make voting squads. We got Natalie Portman and Charlize Theron and Jane Fonda and Amy Schumer and Pete Davidson and Dr. Phil even.
Well, it
threatened to
sounds
lock
like
people up, and I helped do that for the country as a private citizen. So I think the qualifications are very clear.
Well, it sounds like your background in politics is strictly commentary.
Yeah. Well, plus the activism that I just created in this telethon.
Sure.
That helped create the historic voter. Our goal literally was to help create historic voter turnout in the midterms. That happened the next day. Best ever among youth.
Yeah.
Historical turnout among youth that I played a part in helping to create. So I wouldn't say that's just commentary.
Sure.
Oh,
yeah, no,
shit.
activism counts.
Yeah.
But you've never sat a 9 to 5 in the government office.
That is correct.
Right. And some people that's important for some reason.
Yeah, and if that's important to you, to keep electing to office the same exact career politicians, cautious politicians who we've been electing since the end of time, since the beginning of time, I don't know how the phrase goes. Whenever politics started at that time,
it was with politicians.
And all the way since, just career politicians, and you've seen the country get harder and harder to make it for people that are just like you, for people who have normal perspectives, normal bank accounts, normal lives, trying to work full-time jobs and trying to survive in this world, and it keeps getting harder and the wealth gap keeps getting bigger between the rich and the rest of us. And you want to keep doing that. That's what democracy is about. You can certainly vote for that again.
Yeah,
to me, that's the definition of insanity, to keep trying the same thing over and over again. We need a regular person in office for once. I'm a regular dude. Look, right now I'm at a comedy club in Tampa. Probably not sold out at all. I haven't looked inside yet. But I travel everywhere my whole life trying to just entertain people across the country, and to me that's a service industry job.
It is.
So
I agree. So you're worldly and cultured. You're traveled.
Right, also that. So I have your endorsement then? You've endorsed me?
I'd say you have my endorsement officially. Tampa News Force official endorsement for Ben Gleib.
Yes.
Who's going to win? Yeah, how much? I hope that wasn't a sign-off. I didn't know if you were trying to do a big out.
No, I like
because we've still got plenty of questions.
And then I want the rest of the questions to be a lot
because now you know that I'm on your side.
Now you're on board.
Well, I got to drill you first. Idiot test.
I'll do what it takes. Yes, idiot test. Please.
Idiot test. So the next question,
are you gonna give me an idiot
Mr.
test?
Gleib, is everybody talks about their first day in office as the president.
Yep.
What's your first day in office?
First day in office is I get rid of the golden drapes Trump put up there.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I leave the drapes. I'm fine with gold. I immediately get us back in the Paris Climate Accords.
Yes.
I immediately reinstate permanent protection for DACA recipients. So I not reinstate, I create permanent, through an executive order, status for DACA recipients. So people who are brought here as children have a pathway to become citizens in this country, are not treated like animals or enemies when they're just kids that were good Americans without the documentation. We do that. And then I start meeting immediately with the best people in every industry to tackle every single issue as strong as we can. We start moving towards a Green New Deal as fast as possible. We bring in all the new leaders who are trying to change things in the most cutting edge ways. Bring in AOC, you bring in all the new class of people that are trying to actually make the systemic change that we need. And we come up with a game plan right then. What's the attack plan from minute one?
Torture. Is it gone?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of torture.
Okay, even if someone has secrets that could save people.
Well, so here's something that I'm actually a little bit different than a lot of liberals on. I certainly am not in favor of torturing children and keeping them in cages. Not a fan of that.
Of course.
Not, and certainly in favor of honoring the Geneva Conventions because we agreed to that. But all I want to say on the issue of like extra rendition, like when waterboarding was seen to be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know that I agree that with just the very few highest value targets that waterboarding itself, not real torture, I just don't consider waterboarding torture really, because you're not drowning someone.
No.
You're making them think they're drowning. So
Yeah.
like if someone had your family held hostage
Yeah.
and you had to just make them think they were about to drown for 20 seconds to get them to tell you the truth,
Yeah.
I don't think that's the worst torture in the
Right.
world.
That's
You
not
got to
what-
do what
yeah.
you got to do to protect the country.
Yeah.
However, studies show it doesn't work very well. People will just say
Okay.
anything in that
Okay,
moment.
right.
So it doesn't seem like the best way to do it. But I don't think
Yeah.
it's some crime against humanity to put a bag on someone's head and then pour water and make him feel like he's drowning when he's not at all drowning.
Yeah.
He's in no danger.
Yeah, everything's
It's like
situational.
this is a bad dude.
Yeah,
Situational.
Yeah, there's reason. Yeah, there's circumstantial reasons to do things
Right.
sometimes.
I'm not going to institute it as a policy. I'm just
Yeah.
saying,
If it exists.
if you're asking me on a moral line, I don't think that's the worst thing in the
Okay.
world. You have to deal with the worst people in the world.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to be a little bit tough with them.
Exactly. Yeah, you give what others put out, you know? If you put out bad energy, put it right back at them, shut it down.
That's what another big premise of my whole campaign is, as much as I love Michelle Obama and respect her so much, I disagree with when they go low, we go high.
Okay.
That loses elections. We just saw that.
Yeah, yeah.
My phrase is a little bit of a tweak on that. When they go low, that's a great time to step on them.
Oh, that's good.
Because they are down there already.
That's good.
Boom.
Stomp on them.
Don't stomp.
Don't stomp.
That's a little aggressive.
That's too much.
Just step on them and you can get your point across. You stand on them for a minute, use them as a soapbox,
Right.
and get your point across. Because we don't have time to be polite.
Right.
The world crumbling. The guys on the other side are using every dirty tactic in the book to gerrymander their district in racist ways, drawing lines around black people, trying to put people who are actively against the Environmental Protection Agency as the head of that organization, trying to de-invest in arts education, trying to de-invest in our schools, trying to, in every way, make it easier for big business to succeed and harder for regular people to succeed, and we're going to just let them do it and be like, well, also we're going to have better manners. Fuck that. It's not a time for that. I don't want to ever have a president that cusses in normal times either, but it's not normal times. You're going to be upset about a president cussing or a candidate cussing when you've got somebody literally putting kids in cages and we're just going by our normal lives with that shit? No, it's not time for that.
Where'd your passion for the people come from?
Just being a good human being. I was raised right by my family. I was raised right and taught the right morals by my grandfather, who lived through the horrors of World War II. His entire family killed in the Holocaust. He was put himself in a labor camp in Siberia by the Russians, separated from my grandmother, reunited with her in Israel, found a way with no money in their pockets, the stereotypical story of success of an immigrant, coming to America because of what this country can be, of the true American dream, ended up a success living in a penthouse in Beverly Hills because he made himself from the ground up and taught me the beauty of a work ethic and of working hard to achieve your dreams, and that nothing can stop you if you keep focused, but you do that while never ever slighting somebody or stepping on somebody who's smaller than you or weaker than you, and doing it the right way, and then treating people well and giving to charity and supporting people who are more disadvantaged than you, and you do that and you can build. And he was a Republican. He was the Republican Party that used to be. Because to me, this is not a time of Democrat versus Republican. It's not an issue of that. It's about our morals. It's about good versus evil. I believe Trump and his administration are evil people,
Yeah.
and we must stomp that out.
You just made a great point about how powerful family is and
Huge.
the influence of family.
Huge.
Do you think Trump's upbringing might not have been as moral as yours, maybe?
Yeah, it seems as though his father was a racist landlord. It seemed as though his father gave him so much money, and he was fed with a silver spoon from day one of his life, and he was given $100 million to start an empire, and he just didn't fully screw it up too bad, even though kind of he did through 4 bankruptcies,
Yeah.
and was just good at branding his name, which he still is great at. So, yeah, I think upbringing makes a huge difference. And you can look at his 2 kids, Beavis and Butthead, and they seem to be dicks.
So how do we fix this kind of family problem in the country?
I'll be your papa.
You'll be our daddy? You'll be a nice man to us?
Yeah.
You won't leave?
But I mean, I say that sillily, but I really mean it in a way, because I won't leave, because I will actually try to lead the country in a way that uses humor and warmth and kindness to bring us together, relating to people as I have for 2 decades as a comedian, talking to people as people, relating to people, looking them in the eye, making sure that you make clear and that they understand that this is not about making a political point. It's about trying to make lives better for you, trying to make your life as good as we possibly can, because this is what this country is supposed to be about. And I think having a regular person who knows how to relate to real people in the office, as opposed to a career politician who intellectually says they fight for these things but doesn't actually seem to feel them in their heart, makes all the difference in the world, and it would. And if you want to see your life and the policies of your government change towards things that will actually benefit you, I think that's something we need to try for once. I had beers with some of my supporters at Whiskey Joe's about an hour ago.
Nice.
And it's just so fun to just actually talk with people about their lives and the issues that affect them, and not constantly have this space between our leaders and the populace. It's stupid.
So they didn't put you on the first TV debate.
No, they did not.
Are they going to put you in any of them?
I'm bitter about that.
How do you get on them?
Well, first of all, I'm editing a video, shooting a green screen in my hotel room where I'm putting myself into the debates.
Nice.
That'll be coming out in the next couple of days.
Perfect.
And then we are working hard for the next deadline for the second debate to get the 70,000 required donations to qualify, trying hard to get in those polls. So
donate, guys.
Please donate if you see this.
70,000 people.
We already have many thousands, but we need a viral moment. So please, if you believe in this idea, and trust me, it can't get much worse than Trump, so anybody's an improvement. But if you like the idea of someone that's a little bit more like you in office, go to Gleib2020.com. Donate whatever you can afford. Even $1 counts as a donation. If you can afford 5 or 10 or 20, it's much better. But $1 is amazing and so appreciated, because we really need to do it. And if we don't get a second debate, we're going to keep going to that third debate.
So you seem very level-headed.
Thanks.
Honest.
Thanks.
Decent, smart, normal
Appreciate
guy,
that.
right?
Thank you so much. Are you going to ask if you can be my drunk limo driver? Yes, you can.
Yes, but do you think that has a real chance to win?
We'll see.
We'll see. Do you think you're going to win?
Do I think I'm going to win? That's a good question. I don't believe it is incredibly likely statistically that I will win. I'm coming at this without any political machine, without millions of dollars of the backing of rich donors. I'm just trying to run a real grassroots campaign and asking real people for money and to donate what they can to try to bring an outside voice. I'm not even asking for an endorsement this time. I'm asking for people to donate as you can to many campaigns at once, just to get my voice in the mix.
Yeah.
I do believe that if I get onto the debate stage, people will love what I have to say.
Oh, I think so too.
Thanks. And then I think we have a real shot to resonate, and I think we've got a shot at the nomination. And I know if I got the nomination, I will beat Donald Trump.
Yeah.
The debate of me and him heads up will be the greatest thing in the world.
Oh, yeah.
I just can't wait. He's going to be, I don't even understand what happened. They did this witch hunt against me. I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, let me just rephrase what the president just said. Wow. I'm a little crybaby boy. I mean, I'm going to make him seem small.
You got any decent one-liner zingers for him already?
I just have some good nicknames for him.
Oh, yeah?
Treasonous Trump.
Ooh.
Crybaby Donnie.
Pretty good.
Toupee Fiasco.
Oh.
Coward the Duck.
Ooh.
Napoleon Bone Spurs. Putin Side Chick.
Yeah, he would probably bring your childhood bully to the debates or something.
Yep.
How about that tactic with Hillary Clinton? Hey, here's your husband's victims here.
And that's why it was such a mistake from the DNC to put their foot on the scale and stop Bernie's campaign, because I think Bernie versus Trump, two populist candidates, would have been a real interesting contest and a real honest a contest of two people that both speak to people's passions and speak to the real issues that affect people and wanted systemic change. And instead they put Hillary in there, the one candidate who was so uniquely qualified to diffuse any of Trump's scandals.
Well, now technically you're trying to stop Bernie.
That's correct. That's correct. Which is not even nice of me, because a lot of people don't know this, he's my great-grandfather.
No way.
Yeah, he's my great-grandfather.
I could see it.
Thank you. When I get a little tired and a little grouchy at the end of a long day in the campaign, I find myself slowly becoming Bernie. All of a sudden, I'm like, and this bill, there was an extra side salad on this bill, and I only had 2 bites of the side salad. I am not paying 2% of this bill. You're taking it off of the bill.
He's going to take down the big banks. Are you going to fight Wall Street?
I am. I'm releasing a video soon where at the biggest Wall Street conference, the Sohn Investor Conference, in front of the most influential hedge fund guys in the country. Yeah. I walked out and crashed the beginning of the biggest investor speech and made a speech to all of the Lincoln Center. Yeah, I was hosting the event, but I came back out during when he started.
Nice.
And I just made an impassioned speech to the whole place, not at all funny, just saying, please start using your heart. Yeah. Don't play games with our economy. It's not a game. Our lives are represented by the economy, and you're just playing games with people. And don't do that. Don't make money at all costs. So
and then
definitely
they thought about that for about 2 minutes, and they were like, that was nice.
That is correct. They bought and sold stocks during my speech.
Yeah,
everybody else running claims that they're not friends of Wall Street, but then look, Hillary goes and takes money to speak to these guys.
Exactly.
I wanted to show that I not only don't take money to speak to those guys, they offered me a fee, and I donated it to the charity that event was for.
That's nice.
Yeah, thanks, man. It was for pediatric cancer, and so I gave the money they were going to give me. And then also I wanted to publicly say, this is where I stand. I'm on the side of the people. I'm on the side of the big banks and these investors that are just playing financial games with our lives. It's not cool. That's why another one of my policies is something kind of innovative. That if you want to stop corporate crime, and you also want to reform prisons, you do both with one thing. You combine white-collar prisons with regular prisons.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Put those hedge fund guys that ruin the world economy in general population of real tough prison.
See how much crime they keep committing.
You will see how fast you get prison reform.
That's kind of the same idea of politicians who vote for war should have to put their children in.
Totally. And they should put themselves in. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous that we don't pay the price of what our policies are.
You're the president.
Thank you. I've won?
Yeah, you won. I'm here to I just
You
got
endorsed
word.
me, and minutes later.
My earpiece just told me.
Amazing.
Oh, wait, nope, there's nothing.
Oh, that was, I did not win? Okay.
I thought there was something in there.
Okay.
You're the president, for sure. You won.
Great.
And you have the power of the nukes now. What do we do with these?
You don't use them unless you absolutely have to.
Should we just get rid of them one day?
One day we should get rid of them. The goal should be to disarm the planet. But one thing that I want people to know is that I think liberals get a bad rap, or maybe some of them are soft in this way, but I will protect America with everything in my soul, and nobody will ever mess with our country under my administration. And so I would not disarm until we get to a place where the world is disarming. I, in fact, know that to pay for a lot of the programs I want to do, we would have to make some cuts to our military budget. But those cuts would not ever defund our troops. We have a very bloated, enormous military budget, bigger than the next 5 nations combined.
Insane.
And we have thousands of nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
And so my plan, again, is always trying to figure out ways to present these issues in ways that both sides can understand. It is this. If we reduce our military budget to a place where we are just getting rid of the bloat and getting rid of needing to re-up with brand new weapons and bombs and planes every year, because they're good for a while.
Yeah.
But if we just get rid of some of the middle-level weapons that we have, if we don't need to re-up them, you now have a scarier military. It's not a weak position, it's a tough position. Someone is more unpredictable if they have less options. If all we have is our thousands of nuclear weapons and our worst bombs, you better not fuck with America then. No. And we have much more pressing problems. You take money from our military budget and fund the VA for once. The one promise that we make to everyone who signs up to fight in our military is we will take care of you when you come back, and we're just lying to them.
Yeah.
We just need to shift that money. It's not even that much money. It's an additional like $50 billion a year can fully fund the VA. And our military budget's like $800 billion a year, 700 or 800 billion.
Wow. Yeah, and I mean, you see, Future Weapons has been on History Channel for a million years now. Any of that stuff should be able to stop a lot.
If we can't even take care of our most brave people in our country, how are we ever going to take care of just the general population? It's a perfect example of how our priorities are out of whack.
Yeah.
We got to fix that.
Well, do you think that's just the culture of America or humanity now, that we're more self-absorbed and
we are more
media
self-absorbed.
and the internet?
But social media is a blessing and a curse because it has made us a lot more self-absorbed, but it also makes us a lot more aware.
Yeah.
And more people turn out for marches quickly and on a moment's notice. That's why we have to also restore net neutrality protection so they can never stop the free flow of ideas in our country. And I will do that immediately also on day one of my administration. It's just in our interest to make sure we have a happy, successful society, so we don't have people rioting in the streets, so we don't have discontent, so we don't have people being angry towards success. You want people to feel happy for our brothers and sisters when they become successful, because we know that we're also taking care of the vulnerable people in our society. It just makes sense for our own self-interest.
Is it still going? Sorry, this
That's been out for a long time.
Yeah, I just didn't see it was still going. Anyways, this has been wonderful.
Thanks, man.
I think if anybody watches this, I think people watch this.
I hope so.
I hope so,
too.
too.
You would know better than I would.
I don't know. Sometimes they watch us.
Okay, no one's watching it.
Sometimes.
Did you even press record this whole time?
Oh, gee, there's no tape in it. We still have one of those
You're
like
still using
VCR.
tape?
Yeah, it's a.
You're putting tape in there?
We're putting tape.
What is this, Groundhog Day?
Listen, the
Are you
budget's
Chris
small.
Elliott back there? Oh, let's go. Also, I just realized right now that your cameraman's kind of short, and I feel like the camera's probably like under my chin.
No, it's because it's like the Wild West technique where it makes the.
Oh, it makes me look bigger?
Yeah.
But double chinned at the same time.
Well. Oh, what's the guy? Man vs. Food? Adam.
See, I've heard that sometimes,
gotten
and
that?
it's not the best analogy.
No.
I've heard a big range of people that say I look like, and some of them are nice, and a lot of them are really bad.
Right.
I've gotten everywhere from John Mayer and Billy Joe from Green Day, all the way to Gargamel from the Smurfs and Mr. Bean.
Oh my God, Gargamel.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
and Mr. Bean's even
Mr.
worse.
Bean.
So, you know.
Career-wise, he's doing pretty well.
Right.
Yeah.
They say Washington is Hollywood for ugly people, and I've been right on the cusp my entire career. So
I grew up there.
Let me shift to the one where I'm better looking than most.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us,
My
Ben.
pleasure, man.
I hope you win.
Thank you very much.
I do.
I really appreciate it.
And,
I feel like I'm more fun to listen to than Beto O'Rourke. It's a very monotone speaker, that guy.
It would be, yeah, because
Every time he
imagine-
speaks, it's just like he's trying to give the greatest speech of his life, but with one tone. And every man, woman, or child in this very nation needs to know that I've rehearsed this exact language several times.
I said he looks like a white Obama.
Oh,
If you just did like a photo negative kind of.
Interesting. And don't you want somebody in the White House who was the voice of one of the sloths in Ice Age? I mean, come on.
Ice Age, guys. Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
He's part of our upbringing, our culture. He's a staple of humor and entertainment. He just did a full interview, and he's about to go do an hour in there.
And I've barely slept.
He never stops,
No
guys.
joke. They say you turn gray when you're in politics. I've been in the campaign for just 2 months.
You are.
Last night I looked in the mirror and I have like 40 gray hairs. I've never had more than one. And there's gray hairs everywhere. We're
You're
not
gonna
lit
drop
enough
out.
to see.
The hair's gonna be too much. You're gonna
No,
be
I'll
like,
never
yeah.
drop out. I'll
Okay.
just probably color the hair at some point. It'll
Okay.
be orange by the time I'll be going against Trump in the debates. We'll both have orange hair. He'll be like, "This is a hoax," and I'll be like, "Maybe it is a hoax.
Yeah.
Maybe it is a hoax. I'll become you."
But
I think
yeah,
I'm on
okay.
stage this exact minute.
Perfect. You're gonna kill it.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good seeing you, man. And you love Tampa? You love Tampa News Force?
I had a great time, and I love Tampa News Force because when you want your news forcefully coming at you, it's Tampa News Force time.
You know, we're like a force, not as much as like you're
Tampa
the
News
best.
Force, a force to be reckoned
You got it, baby.
with. I'll have a fucking drink.
Uh-huh.
These things shit. I need a drink. Shit. I wonder if I can get a water.
Ben Gleib, everybody.
Hold on.
Your next president, folks.
I think I'm literally being announced right now.
This is the stressful life of a stand-up comedian.
Why don't you come follow me with the camera? It's like
Yeah.
you
You want to watch him walk up?
come right on the stage.
Yeah, this is what he looks like. What's your last thought right before you go on stage?
Oh, it's gonna be fun. At least I get to relax for an hour and entertain some people.
Give it up for Ben Gleib, everybody.
Hello, keep it going one more time.